Hello, everyone. I'm Rob Smith in Chicago for the In the Black VTF here at T3 Live on a summer Friday. And in the summer, we get a little bit lackluster sometimes in the broader averages and the futures, and I'm going to show you that in just a second. But the real story is the stories. We have earnings plays. It was a real interesting week, so let's take a look at some of those charts and what's coming up for a little bit of what's coming up next week. All right, let's go to the charts. So we basically, when we have this lackluster trading, we're staying on the news feed, the news wires. We just looking at the new high, new low list, and when they start going, just like yesterday, or we had Zillow. You can see Zillow just ripping here, and so you're just looking for the quick entries that you can. Really took off here when that news came out, and then you just get in your pullbacks and here, stuff like that. You're looking at TRLA, also same deal going on there, and really, that's what we're looking for, is trying to find these things that just have some news and just rip. Because if we take a look at the S&P just real lackluster here, and I'll get back to that in a second. Another thing we had that was good today was, Loco. There's your chart, and Loco came out, the El Polo Loco, and it was nice right around lunchtime, where when it started to take off, we had this inside 5 here, or we had a nice group of people join us on that one right here, and then she runs up here, so people made one or two bucks in the chickens. We also had Baidu, and with the Baidu, one of the things we want out of these earnings plays is just a gap and go, and that's what you got. You got a gap and a runner, and all day just channeling higher. That's nice there. Chipotle, after the earnings, had here on the gap, finally got going again. You can see this on the daily, and that's what we want, because other times you get this Qualcomm that just sits there and does nothing and goes inside day after the big earnings dumper. So that made things a little tough. But the real story stock of the week, HLF, and what a beauty that was. Some tight broadening formation in here, and then Ackman witch hunt comes out, and he just wails on it, and people having trouble hard to borrow, and you know what's going to happen once things go hard to borrow in a day and things don't go right. What's he talking about? I don't know. This sounds stupid. Please. And what a day that was. And then after that, because of all the volatility in here, once it starts to dry up, there's a good opportunity to sell a lot of options in that thing to squeeze them down to nothing. So for next week, obviously earnings, plays, stories, we're going to stay on that stuff. And just a few stocks I'll be looking at. Twitter. And Twitter goes as an inside week down here. And so the question here is going to help look at this to say, is this a rest before more selling, all sorts of hurting, or back up there? We got also in oil services, going to be watching Slumberjay to see if this correction is over. Inside week, going to take that back out and start moving higher again, or is it going to try and retrace this whole bar? If we take a look at FedEx for the trannies, you'll see an inside week up there too, just near the highs, to see if we can go up, sideways, measured move and start blasting off, or try and correct after this outside bar. Late in the day today, we had a nice run in the gold here, and gold right here, gap down, you can see these nice moves in gold, and then finishing off right here was real nice. So let's get rid of that. And so what that brings us in the gold market is this triangle here. Still would need to put in higher highs out of that, but you're going to see a weekly hammer off of that down here. Still stuck in the mud, would still need to get out of some of these levels in here, but just interesting note right on the end of the day on a Friday. So let's take a look at the S&P. And so the S&P, you can see on the weekly, it goes up and comes back into the range after going to slight higher highs. Still a tight range up in here. And if you look at the daily, you'll see this here, this formation here, these 4 bars here. So the question is this the lower low here and that's it? Too strong to get any lower and go right popping back up? Or do we come back down through here? You can see this series of higher lows. And whenever we had, this is very rare, this condition we had here, inside day in the S&P. And we gapped up and went up here. So this is a major equilibrium. So I would not want to see us break below this stuff here. It wouldn't be the end of the world, but that might be the end of this orderly channel-like formation, and maybe bring it down into something here or worse. So I'm paying attention to this stuff. If you take a look at the QQQ, a little bit better because it's coming right off of this, and still that this here would still be at a higher lows than that. But once again, that inside day here wasn't an inside day in the Qs. And so if we look at the Dow Jones Diamonds here, very similar, and you can see this here. Yep. Trying to see if that holds that or it gets worse and drops back towards this. So, as I've said before, a little bit lackluster in the SPY and the S&P for the summer. But, going forward for next week, we're going to stick on those earnings plays, going to stick on news, and, always going to pay attention to the broader averages for, key directions if they're going to go one way or the other. The bonds are still in TLT interesting, going out towards the highs today too as well. So we want to see who stays stronger, the bonds or the stocks. And I can't reiterate this enough, in the summertime when things slow down, just looking for those movers, waiting for that news to come out to get that kind of action. When you have the summertime and you have a lot of people leaving town like myself. So hope everybody had a good week. Hope you all have a great weekend, and we'll see y'all here back at T3 Live bright in the morning on the VTF on Monday.